How are you today? I have a question for you. Are you resisting change? Just simple question. Are you resisting change? Tell me why. Michael and I had this discussion last night after I told him what I was thinking about talking about this morning. And the first thing he said is fear. And yeah, usually fear is a big reason for resisting change. But I have another reason for you today, and I'm going to show you how to stop it. We don't need to resist change, and it can be debilitating in our lives. So let's look at some other ways, some things we can do, how we can stop resisting change. Now I'm going to tell you a little story about yesterday in my office. Sarah, our daughter, was here yesterday, and I have a comfy chair in my office. It's across from my desk, and I love sitting in it, curling up, and reading, praying. It's my place. It's my what I call my meeting place. And the where I had it was across from my desk, but where it was so cramped. I couldn't get I had a bookcase kind of in the corner. I had two bookcases flanking the windows. Now, let me tell you about the bookcases. The bookcases were built to go there. We actually measured, and Michael built these bookcases just to flank the windows. It's exactly what they were for. And so when Sarah said, "Well, have you thought about moving the bookcase?" And I'm like, "Well, no, that's where the bookcase goes. That's where it was built to go. It should be there. It's meant to be there." And, I got to thinking about it, and I thought, that's stopping me from changing my office to a more comfortable place for me. Only because my thought was it's meant to be there. It's supposed to be there. That's where it was built to be. So I can't move it. And there goes the word can't. Again, can't's a four-letter word. But whenever I let go of that resistance, whenever I let go of the idea that it's meant to be there, that's where it's supposed to be, then I said, okay, let's move it. And got things out of it, got things off the top, because they don't go to the ceiling. So I have some decorative things on top. We did that and moved it, and then put my chair back over there in kind of that corner where the bookcase was. And I want to tell you, my office functions so much better. We are so resistant to change. And sometimes it's nothing more than that's how it's meant to be. That's where it's supposed to be. And sure, the bookcase was built to go in that corner. It was built to it's like from the window to the corner of the room. It was built to go there. But does that mean it has to stay there? No. No. So think about your life. Think about the things in your life. Think about your business, your job, all areas of your life, your relationships. Are you keeping things the way they are because that's the way they're meant to be? Or there's some things where we should not change. There are certain things that are meant to be the way they are, just like the motor and the transmission and all that in your vehicle. Yeah, you can change those things out, but you may mess things up. But some people tinker with that and it ends up okay. But there are things in life that need to be the way they are. And I understand that. But what about those things that can be changed? What's going to happen if you move something around? What's going to happen if you try something new? The worst that can happen is it won't work. It's not going to work. And you know what? You put it back. It's as simple as that. We don't have to leave things the way they are just because that's how they're supposed to be. That's not the way we need to live our lives. We need to look at things and say, hey, what would happen if I switch this? Now, what would happen if I hadn't have switched the chair? I couldn't have gotten to the bookcase. The bookcase is where I keep most of my personal development books. It's where I go to pick out what I'm reading next. And it was difficult to get to. Matter of fact, it was almost impossible. So I made the change. And I have to tell you now, I made another change and I'm going to tell you about it, and it's not working, and I'm going to fix it. Okay. I also had my camera on a fixed tripod right behind my laptop. And so yesterday when Sarah and I were looking at all this, I said, that's the ideal height. That's where I need it. I want it where when I'm on a Zoom call, I can still see the Zoom screen. And if I look down or look, it doesn't look like I'm looking way across the room. Well, we put it on top of the laptop, the screen for the laptop. And I have a big screen over here and I have my laptop here. But you see why I moved it, why I didn't want it there? I had forgotten about that. So I made a change yesterday that's not working. So what am I going to do? I'm going to fix it. Is it a big deal that this video shakes a little bit? I'm not worried about it. Hopefully you're not. But I now remember why that's not a good change. That's not ideal for me. So I need to fix that. But I would just want to encourage you today to not be resistant to change, to look at change. If it's not something if you're scared of change, then you need to deal with that fear. But if it's just because, well, that's how it's meant to be, that table needs to sit there because that's where it works. Well, how do you know it doesn't work somewhere else better? The same thing in your personal life and in your business life, your job, whatever. How do you know unless you change it? Now, I caution you to be careful if you work for someone else and run it by them and help them to understand how you think it might be better. And then also say, hey, if this doesn't work, we can go back to how it was. But don't be resistant to change. Look for ways that you can make changes that might actually work better for you. My office is so much better. It's about a 12 by 12 room. It's not huge. It's not, too small, but I have a lot of furniture here. You see, I have this big cabinet here. I have a dresser over here. I store all my office supplies and things that I need in there. I have 2 small bookcases in here. I have a 6-foot desk. And then I have a printer that's on the table. So I have a lot of furniture in here. And it looked cramped and crowded until I made this move. I'm happy I did it. Again, I got to fix the camera. We can't have this. We cannot have that wobbling. I can't, keep my hands. I move too much. So I can't have that. I have to fix that. But the other change was a good one. And again, what's the big deal? I have one video that's wobbly and I need to fix it. Other than that, it wasn't a big deal. It's not. And one change worked out for good. One worked out not so good. I'll fix the not so good one. I'll leave the other one. So this is me again, encouraging you to look at the things that you can change, the things that you think are meant to be a certain way. Open your mind up and look and see if there's another way. If there's something you can try that you can easily turn back. I mean, it may take a little bit of labor. We had books everywhere. We had a mess for a little bit, but again, it was worth it. And if it wasn't, I would have just put it back and it would have been a little extra work on my part. No big deal. So if you're watching this anywhere but in my group, I invite you to join my group, the Unstoppable Woman Challenge. You'll see more like this as far as in solutions. I run solutions once a month. The one I'm running this month is called the Confidence Solution. And I'm actually going to be teaching on how to have a good confidence, not a cocky manner about you, but a good, steady confidence, a confidence in whose you are. So if you'd like to join the group and get encouragement, be able to have access to the solutions that I run, you can join it by clicking on the link that you see in the description of this video. I'd love to have you there. Please join us. I'm going to go now. I'm going to tell you that I love you. More importantly, God loves you. Don't be resistant to change. You have a blessed week.